Putin got the red carpet from America and Donald Trump. From the moment he landed, literally a red carpet rolled from the tarmac in Anchorage in Alaska for Donald Trump. The US president stopped at nothing, clapping for Putin and giving him a ride in his official vehicle, the Beast. When reporters from the US yelled questions, Trump did not urge Putin to respond.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, press. Thank you, press. Thank you, press.
Mr. Putin, will you agree to a ceasefire? Mr. Putin, will you commit to not killing any more civilians?
Thank you, press. Let's go. Come on, guys. Thank you, press.
Mr. President.
Thank you, press.
President Putin, why should President Trump trust your word now?
Thank you, press. 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 Thank you, press.
This was a departure from Trump's snappy interaction with Zelensky at the White House, which blew up a few months ago.
We gave you, through this stupid president, $350 billion. We gave you military equipment, and you men are brave, but they had to use our military.
What about
if you didn't have our military equipment, if you didn't have...
The Trump red carpet for Putin was more than just optics. It conclusively was the stamp of approval by the White House for Russia's reintegration on the global table.
It is known that there have been no summits between Russia and the U.S. for 4 years, and that's a long time. This time was very hard for bilateral relations, and let's be frank, they have fallen to the lowest point since the Cold War. I think that's not benefiting our countries and the world as a whole.
But beyond the appreciation for the hospitality and gestures, Putin was classic Putin, holding on to Russian terms without giving an inch.
At the same time, we're convinced that in order to make the settlement lasting and long-term, we need to eliminate all the primary roots, the primary causes of that conflict. And we've said it multiple times, to consider all legitimate concerns of Russia and to reinstate a just balance of security in Europe and in the world on the whole.
This made it amply clear Russia is no hurry. Putin's steadiness made it clear that Moscow can and will prolong the Ukraine war if its interests are not met. But Putin did this with tact, projecting his endgame of peace as the underbelly.
One of the central issues was the situation around Ukraine. We see the strive of the administration and President Trump personally to help facilitate the resolution of the Ukrainian conflict. And his strive to get to the crux of the matter, to understand this history, is precious. As I've said, the situation in Ukraine has to do with fundamental threats to our security. Moreover, we've always considered the Ukrainian nation, and I've said it multiple times, a brotherly nation, however strange it may sound in these conditions. We have the same roots, and everything that's happening is a tragedy for us and terrible wound. Therefore, the country is sincerely interested in putting an end to it.
Putin chose his words tactfully, calling his relationship with Trump direct and businesslike.
Incidentally, when the new administration came to power, bilateral trade started to grow. It's still very symbolic. Still, we have
This turned the entire purpose of the meeting into one that was transactional, one in which Russian business became top-tier focus instead of any peace deal talk. In fact, Putin highlighted publicly the enhancement of trade between Russia and the US by a whopping 20%.
The US and Russian investment and business cooperation has tremendous potential. Russia and the US can offer each other so much in trade, digital, high-tech, and in space exploration.
This is hugely significant given that Trump has been slapping tariffs on countries like India for trading with Russia. The fact that Putin mentioned it seemed to put Trump in a genuine spot. The headline screaming from the Alaska Summit was that there was neither a ceasefire, not even a word, nor a deal. Trump's tone here says it all.
We were interfered with by the Russia hoax. It made it a little bit tougher to deal with, but he understood it. I think he's probably seen things like that during the course of his career. He's seen it all, but we had to put up with the Russia hoax. He knew it was a hoax, and I knew it was a hoax, but What was done was very criminal, but it made it harder for us to deal as a country in terms of the business and all of the things that we'd like to have dealt with. But we'll have a good chance when this is over.
This tone by Trump was wildly different from the braggadocio displayed while going into the Putin meeting. Putin ensured that the ball was left in Trump's court to bid with the NATO and Zelensky.
I will call up NATO in a little while. I will call up the various people that I think are appropriate, and I'll, of course, call up President Zelensky and tell him about today's meeting. It's ultimately up to them. They're going to have to agree with what.
From the big talk,
So I'm going in to speak to Vladimir Putin, and I'm going to be telling him, you got to end this war. You got to end it. And he wasn't going to mess with me. So I'm going to go and see the parameters. Now, I may leave and say, good luck, and that'll be the end. I may say this is not going to be settled. I mean, there are those that believe that Putin wanted all of Ukraine. I happen to be one of them, by the way. I think if it weren't for me, he would not be even talking to anybody else right now. But I'm going to meet with him. We're going to see what the parameters are. I'm then going to call up President Zelensky and the European leaders right after the meeting, yeah. And I'm going to tell them what kind of a deal. I'm not going to make a deal. It's not up to me to make a deal.
to the red carpet for Russia and the US soil, did Donald Trump get played by Vladimir Putin in Alaska?